Is your wrist feeling better? Or
yeah,
all right?
My health is 100%. It's the first time in a while, but I'm going in the summer fresh and ready to be playing.
Andre, with the U.S. Open coming up, it's possible you're probably not going to be seated in the thing. And what are your thoughts going into it unseated?
Yeah, that is a possibility. I'm going to try to get seated just because I don't think it's fair that either myself or somebody else in the top of the seeds go out early, and which is going to happen if you play. I've been injured, so there's a lot of reasons for why my ranking's where it is, but nevertheless, I'm still capable of going there and feeling like I'm going to win the tournament regardless of what my draw's like. So that's encouraging to me, but still you want to be seeded because you don't want to have to deal with a top player until late in the tournament, but you got to beat them all to win, so I'm going to look at it that way and then try to stay positive about it.
Now, were you 100%?
Nice, actually. Tough course.
Okay. All right. Ready? All right. Were you 100% at Wimbledon?
Physically, in reflection, I'd have to say yes, but no in the sense that I was really conservative with my wrist, in the sense that, I shortened up my motion. I was too tentative to go back, and I was always wondering, is it going to reoccur? Is it going to reoccur? And anytime you have those doubts out there in the heat of competition, you're never really 100%. But physically, yeah, it never really bothered me, never came back, but I was so tentative with it that it was a factor. Now it's gone. I feel comfortable. I've been training hard, and I know it's 100%.
How tough has it been for you this year to go through the physical problems that you've had this year?
I think it was a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways, because it's so easy to let these years kind of just slip by. And when you get injured, you start realizing how quick it all can just go away, and it makes you assess where you are, really what your goals are, and it makes you realize that, if things ended, there'd be a certain amount of things you're going to have to live and regret about if you don't make your career what you want it to be. So coming through the injury, I think, it was tough for me and dramatic in the sense that it wasn't easy for me to be home while other people out there competing, but when it was all said and done, I really think that it made a huge difference in my mentality. It's like I was excited to be playing. I realized how quick things can change, and now I feel like it's a blessing in disguise. Like it just made me stronger and much more focused and possibly a lot more consistent.
When you won Wimbledon, you came back, you said one of the things that you were looking forward to from here on out was to be introduced as Andre the Wimbledon champ. Now, it's been a year since you won Wimbledon. Has any of that luster wore off, or how does it feel in the year since?
Winning Wimbledon is something that I think the longer you spend thinking about it, the better it feels, and the longer you're away from it, the better it feels. I went there, and after I lost and I was home that night, having a chance to get to beat Pete in the fifth set, I stopped and said, wow, next year, but it doesn't change that I'm a Wimbledon champion, and that's something that's more special as time goes on. And I'm sure that when my career's all said and done, that I'll feel even better about it then.
What's your next goal professionally?
I wanna win these Grand Slams. That's the bottom line. I want to go to the U.S. Open and win it, and that's important to me. And I feel like I can do it. Going to Wimbledon with the handicaps I had, and really feeling like I had a legitimate shot at winning it there at the end, especially, is a great feeling. And there's no intensity like you feel late in the Grand Slam tournament, and that's something I'm looking forward to this summer at the U.S. Open. And I really believe that I'm going to go there and be ready to win it.
What would you like to accomplish personally that you haven't accomplished yet?
I'm looking forward to consistency, I would say. Keeping my game at a high level throughout the year. Blocking off a few years of my career where I can say that's the stage that I played my best tennis, as opposed to picking out a few weeks here and there that I played my best tennis. I'd rather look back and say these years were unbelievable years, and boy, people really dreaded playing me over these years, and that's important to me, because I think that's what can separate you and put you in that elite few that say you're one of the best to ever play the game. And that to me is important, and I want that to be said of me when my career's done. And there's a lot of work ahead that I'm really starting to address in a professional manner, and it's exciting.
What makes you happy personally? What are the things that you feel good? I know what makes you happy professionally, right, in tennis tournaments.
Right.
Personally, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy personally, I think, is waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and feeling like I'm zeroing in on the man I want to be. Basically, to say what that is I don't think you have enough time on air to talk about it. But my priorities are very important to me. Keeping my spiritual life first, my family and my loved ones second, and my career third. That to me is sticking to those priorities and addressing your life without losing perspective is what I feel makes me happy.
Las Vegas plays a big part in that, doesn't it?
Vegas is great, is absolutely a big part of my life. You know, this is where I enjoy coming back to. This is what makes me feel so really like it's like a refuge. It's like I get back here, and for some reason I don't mind going out and grabbing a bite to eat in public, but when I'm on the road I do. It's like I just don't want to deal with people, but I get home and it's like I feel normal.
Do you get harassed here in town? Do people as much as you do on the road?
I get, you know, people do, you know, to some degree invade your privacy anywhere you go. However, it's different here because I think they feel like they already have a piece of you, you know? If I hit the tour spots here in town, it's like, wow, you know, people actually act like they planned on seeing me. And like, oh, they told me if I saw you here to get your autograph. I'm like, you know, they don't realize there's 800,000 people in this city, you know? But outside the tourist part, I think Vegas feels like they already have a part of me. And so I think they really respect the fact that, you know, that I'm out there and I'm out at dinner or wherever I am, and they really respect my privacy a lot more than other places.
Not quite like London, perhaps. From the video that I see there when you go there.
Yeah, the people in London are quite friendly. Unfortunately, the media tends to get a little worked up about a few things, and you have people following you around, and that gets a little out of control, I got to be honest.
Why the split with Nick Bollettieri recently?
You know, I think Nick made a professional decision for himself, and I don't know exactly why out of nowhere. You know, I think, you know, there's a little pain involved when it comes to that part of it, but, you know, if I can say I care about him, I got to be able to say I support you and your dreams, and if I'm not part of that, then I want you to be happy in whatever you do, and that's kind of how I'm approaching it now. He's taken a different direction in his life. He wants to work with his younger kids. He wants to get another group of talented athletes through, and I wish him all the best with that. And we've been with him 10 years, and I think when you've been with somebody that long, I think things can get stale after a while, and I think there is some positives to moving on, and that's what I've done. I've gone on now, and I'm looking at working with different, actually specifically right now, I'm working with a gentleman by the name of Pancho Segura, who most people would know, and I think it's gonna make a big difference.
Back in London, a lot of people were making a lot about the deal with you being with Barbra Streisand. What's the deal with Barbra? Is there anything going on there?
I thought I could come home and get away from these questions, you know?
I think people in Las Vegas would like to know, though. They'd like to know.
People everywhere like to know these things. Barbara is a dear friend of mine. That's the bottom line. And people ask, you know, well specifically, and I tell them it's basically none of your damn business. I mean, there's really no two ways about it. You know, she's a dear friend of mine, somebody I care for, and that I value as being very important to me. You know, so we'll leave that one right there.
You like her music?
I love her music long before I knew her.
And the thing also over there that happened too, you shaved your chest. Was there a reason? Was that to get a little more